Hello reformers and welcome back to Gekokujo 3.1. Now when we left off we had just taken Iwaki Castle from the Date clan and I have successfully lured Lord Endo. I was basically wanting any lord to, go over there and besiege it because obviously as they are sieging it, it's going to take them a long time to take it back. If they do take it back, then I can obviously just head over there and threaten them with my amazingly beautiful face. And, then they'll just be like, oh my god, that guy is just, he's just way too beautiful for this world. Yes, that kind of thing. And then we can just take it back very, very quickly. And so, we are now here, fighting Great Lord Date. Now, there is a reason why I'm doing this. I could make peace with him, hilariously enough. Could do that, but I really want to take Sendai from them. Really do want to take Sendai from them because it is undefended, with the exception of Great Lord Date, of course, and I personally feel like, look at him. He only has 127 troops, so we should be, in theory, perfectly fine. So I've taken a couple of troops from the garrison at Iwaki Castle as... Did I actually do that? I can't remember what I did last time before I, quit after I finished the recording, but never mind. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. I'm not entirely sure, but what I do know is that I did head back to Kubota and to the various castles between here and Katsuyama Castle. I didn't go all the way back to Katsuyama Castle because I didn't have enough, time to be able to do that. But basically, that was a really bad idea. That was a really bad idea, Great Lord Date. He decided, yes, I am on a mount. I'm going to decide to charge into a huge amount of spearmen. And that's exactly what I'm doing as well, which is rather amusing in itself. That is literally the definition of irony right there, because it's just like, oh, he did that and got absolutely massacred? Let me do that as well. I don't know why. There you go. See, yeah, 37 damage is utterly insane. Really is. Oh yeah, also, I am actually going to be making another vassal very, very soon. Because Hyogonosuke has advanced in level. He has a pretty decent amount of leadership now. And I think it might be a nice idea for us to make him the next vassal, because we already have one, Lady Nagako. She is very, very powerful, of course. I am actually thinking that at some point maybe it would have been a better idea to keep her as an actual companion, because she is just so powerful that I didn't really want to let her go, but I thought that maybe, considering she is so powerful in martial combat, mortal combat, whatever you want to call it, that would then transfer over to her being an extremely good vassal. And I'm not entirely sure how good she is at the moment, because obviously I haven't really met with her or anything. I basically have not seen her on the fields of battle at all, so I can't really comment on how good or how bad she actually is. But yeah, anyway, I'm gonna make Hyogonosuke a vassal after this. Yes, a vassal, if I could speak. Thank you. Very nice. Anyway, yeah, that would be pretty cool in my opinion if we could do that, because then we'll have two vassals, and I think we have a pretty reasonable area for two vassals. Although, obviously as it is right now, we're not actually even doing that badly. It could be a lot worse. It could be a lot worse. We could literally have vassals from the factions that we are currently at war against just attacking everywhere. They could just be attacking Kubota. There's only about 50, 60, 70 units in there, because every single time I send out a recruiter from Kubota, it always gets killed, which is very, very sad. Oh yeah, and also, apparently, the reason why we had the Miyoshi clan declare war against us is because I either took someone prisoner or something along those lines, and that caused them to take offense and lose -1 relation. At least, that's apparently what I've heard. So yeah, that's obviously a bad thing. That is actually pretty bad. Anyway, there you go. We actually killed him very, very easily. I'm actually kind of surprised. I think it is because he does have a rather diminished army in comparison to beforehand. But what can you do? I'm perfectly happy with him having a diminished army, to be honest. Okay, so let's see what's going on here. Right, okay, so Hyogonosuke has actually just given me these things back, because I actually told him, hey, you have no weapons, take these. And so he's going to take those, and he's hopefully going to do a pretty reasonable job. I mean, there you go. Oh well, anyway, would you be interested in holding a fief? And what am I going to give you? That's the thing. I don't want to give you a wacky castle, because that's almost going to be taken. So I think I'm probably going to give him something like not Ichinoseki. Or should I give him Ichinoseki? Yeah, I'm going to give him Ichinoseki Castle, I think. There you go. And Lady Nagako has deteriorated by 1, so that's perfectly fine. He is now Lord Hyogonosuke. And yes, hopefully he's going to be really, really good. And show us that he's very adequate in what he's doing. Okay, so yeah, unfortunately, it seems like there's something weird going on with Mari right now. I'm not entirely sure what's going on here. Let's actually just... Ah, yes, that is a bit of a problem, isn't it? Okay, so throwing weapons, thank you very much, throwing weapons, and that's it. I do not want her using a bow. I do not want her using a bow. For some reason, she decided that it would be a good idea to use a bow, but there you go. Anyway. So there you go. So we have given Ichinoseki to, well, Ichinoseki Castle, at the very least, to Hyogonosuke, and he is obviously going to be doing that. Okay, so Iwaki Castle is about to be taken by the Date clan. But that's okay, because we now have an opportunity to take Sendai, and I'm pretty sure we will be able to do this very, very quickly. So yeah, we are obviously sacrificing our relationship with Lady Miwa, which is actually kind of a shame, because I was really, really close to marrying her, and it would have been pretty nice to actually have a wife, basically, because it gives us so many new options and so many cool gameplay elements. And in general, it's just actually cool to have Bruce have a wife. So, oh well, never mind. It seems like we're going to have to do that at a later point. And I'm going to have to, you know, court her all over again. Maybe, anyway. So 6 hours it's going to take, and hopefully Lord Endo will decide that it's not worth it, and he does not want to come over here and do whatever it is he wants to do. So we're going to be attacking. I'm actually really surprised that they did not want to rally outside. Why didn't they rally outside? That's very strange. Okay, well, it doesn't really matter, I suppose. So let's do our best, shall we? Come on, Francisco. Do you seriously not have any... Does he seriously not have any weapons? I gave him a weapon, didn't I? I thought I gave him a weapon. Wow, that's kind of sad, actually. That is actually kind of sad. Well, I thought I'd actually given him something, but apparently I hadn't. Well, yes, we're going to need to change that, because he's kind of annoying running around, not being able to actually do any damage. I mean, I'd very much appreciate it if he could, you know, do something and deal damage and kill things, level up, you know. I mean, he is our engineer and our soul surgeon and things like that, and it would probably be a better idea to re-tag him, wouldn't it? So, yeah, I'm also going to do that. I really should have done that a long time ago, but obviously, as it is, you know me, I sometimes do forget to do some of these, you know, finer points of things, and, you know, re-tagging companions is certainly something that I am pretty bad at, because I always forget. So it's less about me being proficient with placing him, which I'm obviously going to also forget to do, most likely, but it's also the fact that I just forget in general to re-tag them. So yeah, hopefully we're going to be able to do that very, very soon, and it seems like we're actually running them down pretty nicely. I'm actually kind of surprised by that. As you can see, we've already eliminated 57, and we haven't lost any units. Now, what's going to happen now is, because I have mentioned that we haven't lost any units, we are going to now lose one. There you go. Yes. Was that luck? Or was that just a coincidence? Or was it skill? Did I literally, you know, prophesize that there was going to be something going on there, you know? That would have been, that's actually pretty hilarious. Ah, well, never mind. Okay, so who's that? Veteran Tsushima Gunner. Ah, yes, please do your best to hit the enemies. That would be very much appreciated. Oh yeah, I should also mention as well, by the way, that my weekly wages, they're still doing completely fine. I gained, I think, 4,000? I think I gained 4,000 this week, so I'm pretty happy with that. I think that's a pretty nice profit margin, and something that we certainly do not want to complain about, because as soon as we say, oh, but it could be so much better and we could gain so much more, as soon as that happens, you know what's going to happen? All of our villages will be simultaneously raided. Oh, yes. Yeah, I'm just being way too superstitious there, but in general, that's usually what happens. So I'm perfectly fine with being, you know, given 4,000 each week. Even 1,000 would be absolutely fine. I'm pretty, you know, I'm pretty open to, you know, whatever it is, because as long as we're not making a loss, that is all that matters. So yeah, I'm also, wait, have you, okay, wait a minute. Now, let me just wait a second here. Have you noticed something? Have you noticed something in this siege? We haven't taken any damage, or at the very least we have taken a very minor amount of... no. Yes, we have taken a very minor amount of damage, and what's hilarious about that is that, no doubt, as soon as I say this, which is something that I obviously am a bit worried about, as soon as I say this, I'm probably going to get shot and killed very, very quickly. So let's hope that that will not be the case, but... you know how the superstition goes. The superstition is that obviously as soon as you say something like that to that effect, you will be murdered. You will be absolutely murdered, and they'll find you in the library with a candlestick, a bloodied candlestick next to you, and it will just be a game of Cluedo or a game of Clue or, you know, whatever it's called in your respective country. But yes, that's what's going to happen. That is what's going to happen. It has happened before. As soon as literally I say that, a death occurs. And yeah, that's pretty bad. But it seems not to this time. It seems like we are actually going to survive, which is very, very surprising to me. Okay, this guy's being quite annoying, as you can see. Yes, take that. A Date officer. A Date officer. Very nice. They seem to actually be very, very good in terms of their gear, because obviously they use one-handed weapons, or at the very least that particular one used a one-handed weapon, and a wakizashi, a blocking wakizashi, to prevent himself from taking damage, so he didn't need to parry or anything like that. He could just use it like a shield, which is pretty cool in itself. I actually quite like that. And if I wasn't using a two-handed, and if I hadn't, you know, fully committed, and here's the death. Am I gonna die? Maybe. Yeah, but if I hadn't fully committed to two-handed, then obviously I would certainly be wanting to use that. I think that would be pretty cool. I literally got killed by a regular Date spearman. Yeah. Literally. Oh, I can't believe it, really. I mean, well, yes, that's the thing. I can actually kind of believe it, because they were on me like nothing else, you know, and it was... it's one of those things, isn't it? It's one of those things where you're just like... not really great, but something that probably could have been avoided. Anyway, we're going to be retreating here because I don't want to lose any more of my units, and we've eliminated 150. Only 150? Look at that. There's still 450 there, but obviously, the main thing that we have to consider is that there are 111 prisoners in the garrison there, and I personally feel like that is an absolutely amazing number, and if we can successfully siege this, take it, and then have the huge burst of extra units from the prisoners' hold, we will be in a really, really spectacular position. So I'm hopeful that we'll be able to do that, but as it stands, it's going to be pretty difficult, I think. Alright, so we have penetrated the first two doors, and I mean, who doesn't like to penetrate a door, right? I mean, come on now. Yeah, I mean, you all know what I'm talking about. Yeah, obviously I'm just kidding. But we're actually doing pretty reasonably well here. I have rested for about a day and a half just to get our HP back up to a reasonable level, and it seems like everything seems to be going much better this time. I'm not entirely sure why, but as you can see, we've basically lost no units. It could just be that they had some really powerful units in the first wave or so, and it seems like they might not have any in this one. Really? Really? Okay, fine. I'm gonna use my spear against you then. Take that. Take that, you terrible spearman. Yes. There we go. Okay, I'm actually dealing some pretty decent damage here, amazingly enough. I'm actually really surprised by that. Okay. So, yeah. Let's just continue dealing damage. Yes. Very nice. Obviously, it's very, very difficult for me to kind of gauge the range of the spear in question. So, that's primarily the reason why I obviously have a bit of a difficulty with that. But it seems like we're actually not doing too badly. I haven't used any of my arrows either, because what was happening is that many of our units at the beginning were getting absolutely massacred. They weren't actually dying, but they were taking a lot of damage from the archers. And I noticed that they were mostly just standing still, and it wasn't very good. So, yeah, that's not particularly good. Anyway, there are a number of archers of ours actually outside at the moment. And there's a reason for that, because obviously I forgot to change Francisco's tag, so I decided, hey, you know what? What we're going to do is we're just going to place the archers on the outside and then just send them in at a later point, and hopefully that's going to make a bit of a difference in our effectiveness. And it seems to have made a huge difference, as you can see here. I mean, most of our infantry and cavalry is able to get through and just cut the enemies down. I mean, they're not giving us any kind of resistance, and it's really kind of hilarious to see the difference in having archers on the front line in terms of then, instead of having the archers, you know, having infantry. And I think that that is amazing. I think that is really, really cool. So maybe if we're able to continue this run of absolute slaughter, then we might actually be able to pull this off, amazingly enough. I mean, just look at that. I mean, all of our spearmen, you know that they were pretty reasonable in the previous siege, right? Well, they seem to be even better in this one. Okay, come on. Don't get killed by this banner carrier, Bruce. Yes, there we go. Is it a coincidence, by the way, that his name is Bruce Beartilde and Batman's real name is Bruce something? Bruce Wayne? Bruce Bear Wayne? Oh, that did not really work out too well, did it? No. Okay, well, doesn't matter, because we can headshot some people around the corner here, and hopefully, oh yes, kill that officer as well. Very nice. And kill one of our own spearmen, because, you know, everyone's got to know who's boss. That's what we're doing with that, obviously. Everyone's got to know that Bruce is the boss, otherwise you get a headshot. You get a headshot by mistake in a battle. He was just like, you know, Bob, this is exactly what's going to happen. You know, we're disagreeing about what we should have for breakfast. And I'm going to shoot you randomly in a siege one point. Because if you don't like tea and biscuits, then where are you, really? Where are you in life? You're nowhere, that's where. And that's exactly what Bruce was saying to him. And Bob was just like, I don't believe you. I don't believe you, Bruce. And then that happened. So, yeah, there you go. There's a little bit of story, a little bit of a backstory. Yeah, you can tell I don't take myself too seriously when it comes to this sort of thing. I actually do create some pretty nice backgrounds sometimes. Like, for example, I actually went quite in depth with the Floris Expanded series, and I constructed an entire, shall we say, family tree. I think if you actually go back and watch the Floris Expanded, I think I'm actually going to retreat here right now because we seem to just be losing forces. But yeah, I think if you actually go back in my playlists, I think it's pretty easy to find, but if you go back in the playlists and actually watch the first few episodes of Floris Expanded, if you'll forgive the somewhat sort of newbie gameplay, because I'm still learning some of the finer mechanics at that point, and Floris Expanded was my first, shall we say, taste of a mod that just gives you so many different options. So anyway, point is, if you watch the first few episodes of that, then you'll see that I actually did come up with a pretty decent backstory for, I believe it was Byron. Yes, Byron Beartilde, and he is the cousin of Barney? Is he the cousin of Barney, or the nephew? Or I can't remember now, but I think he was the cousin of someone. And I even got a way to sort of snake Iceni in there as well, because Iceni is the female character that I played in the original Prophecy of Pendor series all the way back in 2012. And if you want to see that, then obviously the playlist is there. There are, I think, 205 episodes of that, which is pretty immense, as it is. Anyway, let's level up Mei Ling here, and what do we want to get her? Athletics, yes. She can make it even faster to kill people, then she can just get to them really, really fast. Okay, so there's only 268 remaining. There are now only 106 instead of 111. It seems like someone took out some prisoners or something. I don't exactly know. But with that, I will be ending this episode off here. I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.